Hello, welcome back to another episode of Two Dudes Drinking Beer. My name is Josh.
My name is Alec.
And,
we're drinking sparkling water today, probably.
maybe. It says 21 plus. It's Peroni, if anyone's ever seen Peroni. It's an Italian drink.
It was in the beer
It was in
cooler.
the beer section. Never seen it there before, though.
I bet you someone was probably just like keeping their sparkling water chilled while they do some grocery shopping. And they're going to get back and be like, yo, what the fuck? Who stole my sparkling water?
There was more than one case.
Oh, there's definitely alcohol in there. I smell it already. It smells like a...
It smells like Bud Light
You ever had
or
a-
a Heineken or a Stella.
You ever had a O'Doul's?
No.
Oh, that was almost sick.
Almost off the chair.
It smells like
It
a
has
strong fake beer.
It has-
Fake beer smells really strong.
It has Stella vibes.
It does have Stella vibes. Let's
Stella scent.
let's dig in. Stella. I mean,
Yeah, it's a knockoff Stella.
yeah.
Just
It's got a
Peroni.
bad aftertaste.
I don't mind it, but I don't.
like
I
that.
also don't really like Stella. If you like Stella, you'll like Peroni.
Yeah.
I also like how this is a podcast almost solely based off beer,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the most we've ever talked about beer.
In the opening, for sure. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Buy the merch; it's in the description.
Grab a beer and hang out with us.
You have until the 19th to get free shipping. That's code 2DDB. Once again, code 2DDB for free shipping at checkout, which will actually help you out a lot because Teespring shipping isn't necessarily the cheapest. It's like it depends on what you get, of course, what you get printed. So like if you get a shirt, it's $3.99 for the first item and then like an extra $1 per item for shipping. So by you getting free shipping, you're saving a lot of money. So that being said, plugs all done.
Wow, thanks. That was a great commercial. After the first commercial.
Crispy chicken, put it in a taco.
Okay, we got
sell it
some-
for
we got some
$1
Del
and
Taco.
make it hot,
We,
yo.
We usually eat after, but I was super hungry today
We haven't eaten anything yet.
because I woke up.
Well, we did, but we didn't today. Continue.
What?
I said we didn't eat anything, and then I said we didn't eat anything yet, and I said, well, we did just before this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was giving clarification.
Oh, I thought you were like, no, we didn't. And I was like, dog, why are you lying about that? Anyway, get the crispy, since we're doing plugs, get the crispy chicken taco from Del Taco.
It's only a fucking $1.
It's only $1 and it was really
Great.
good. And if you throw some of their Inferno sauce on there,
Well, it also comes in a spicy
Perfecto.
chicken version too.
that's awesome. But whatever sauce I had mixed, because they have sauce in there of, whatever they throw on the chicken, and then with
Ranch?
the Inferno sauce, probably. Actually, I'm sure.
It's chicken ranch, lettuce, and cheese.
But then the Inferno sauce just really it gave it like a really nice creamy kind of. It was great. You should have been there.
No, I like to enjoy the food as it's intended. This is terrible.
This
So-
is pretty. Yeah, I mean,
Not the show. You guys are great. My headphone cable is currently dying.
it's fucking with mine too. So you keep hearing like someone playing with a fucking piece of wrapping paper by your ear.
Every time my cable moves, it cuts up my right side, and it's super light on my left. And I guess it's affecting Alec as well. But I have it bent up my shoulder right now, so it's not doing anything as I'm moving as well. So I'm gonna order a new cable.
It looks nice. It looks nicer than the one it came with originally. It's all lined
Yeah.
with the golden trim.
Yeah, because it's either that or get new headphones. And I mean,
Headphones are. You just bought some, first of all.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's a shame.
But like, I like these headphones. I don't have a need for new ones.
I mean, they're last. It's just the cable, right? It's like why?
Yeah, it's
Why buy a new car because you have a flat tire?
it's a tenth of the price too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like $10. Well, these were only like $50. I mean, we got them on sale.
Yeah.
But they were
but if I
50 or
want
60 bucks.
if I want like nice headphones, it's like $100.
Yeah, and these were like the first pair of like, not these ones actually, but the ones
These
Josh
ones.
is wearing.
The AKG M220s.
And we just keep rolling out the fucking plugs.
If people like these, if they like
Yeah.
how they look,
I know they sound great because they have the mini XLR, but yeah, basically his torn, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and I've been trying to replace mine for a long time, just because I wanted extra cables.
thanks Reddit.
And basically I want to find any pair of headphones I ever get now. I want it to be XLR mini connection because it's way better sound quality.
Get mini XLR to fat XLR.
It'd be so unnecessary.
It would work.
It probably would.
It's for communications purposes, really. Because, like...
Those headphones?
In our TV studio, we had... our headphones were XLR to a pack, and then the pack went XLR to a snake in the wall.
That sounds right.
Which was running all the communications. It was like the fucking... Like the football coaches, and they have their Bose headphones with the Xbox mic.
That's kind of expected, though, because you don't want any interference on set.
Yeah.
Like, that's super, super bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you told me something interesting today. Apparently they're building sound stages in Moore Park.
Supposedly.
Tell me about that.
There's this plot of land right next to the power plant over in Moore Park if you drive through the very scenic route. And so it's been in, like, talks and plans for, like, the past 3 to 4 years, but it's all just weeds, and they haven't developed on it at all. So they're supposed to do it, but I don't think they will.
I mean, I was saying earlier, too, like, it does say 21 plus.
It'd be way cheaper to shoot stuff in Moore Park than to do it over in fucking Hollywood.
I mean, I'm already down to, like, just rent, like, a small office or something and then do the podcast there just so it's more like a set, you know?
Yeah,
that's
I would
the crazy
love to
thing.
build a set.
It'd be awesome. It'd be amazing. All you need is the place, and we just don't have the money.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that'd be super cool. So, the story I wanted to tell you...
You gotta lead into it. So Alec approached me the other day and was like, hey, I have this really good story I want to share for the podcast. I said, cool. Don't tell me about it. Like, just completely save that. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Because we want to get the reactions, like,
And
live.
then on fucking Saturday, we're watching the UFC fights, and he was like, I gotta tell you guys about this.
I had to because everyone else told a little bit of something that was related to the beginning.
But I'm going to give no details. And it's like, okay, well,
I gave you the
fucking
preview.
point? So he already told me a little bit of it. I don't really remember it because I got sauced on Saturday. So go ahead, tell me this story that is absolutely the best story you've ever told.
So basically...
No way. Sorry.
You're a dick. A few days ago, my car alarm starts going off randomly. And it was like...
Was it Kevon?
No. It was the middle of the night, right? Funny story about that, though. He went to everyone else in the house being like, hey, your car alarm's going off, but not me. And he knows it's my car.
What a fucking idiot.
So it's like, dope, dude. But anyway... Yeah, so my car alarm is going off, and everyone's going around the house trying to figure out whose car it is, because it goes on, and it turns off, and it goes on, and then it turns off, and it's just completely random. And finally, someone comes knocking on my door, and it's like 12:30 in the morning, and they're like, hey, man, I think your car alarm's going off, and I can't hear shit. My windows are open, and I'm right by the driveway, and just completely oblivious in my own world. And I go out there, and he's like, I think it's your car. And I was like, I don't hear anything. And he's like, yeah, it keeps going on and off. And I was like, all right. And we waited for like 10 minutes. And I was like, I don't know, man. Maybe they left because it's not going off anymore. Like, we waited 10 minutes. And we start walking away, and it starts going crazy. Like, horn blare and everything, lights, everything.
It's a car alarm.
Yeah, that's typical. And couldn't figure it out why, but we unhooked the battery to kill the alarm. And I went on Google, and I was like looking up all like the possible reasons, and a lot of them is going to be something to do with the battery, or like a short circuit or a corroded wire or something. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm just going to change the battery. I know I know when I bought the car, it wasn't even the proper battery size. I know the battery, Eric told me, like, the wattage was like 200 below what it would supposed to be. So I already knew that the battery, it was enough to start the car, but it wasn't what the manufacturer said should be getting into the car. So I go to AutoZone, and I get a new battery, and I bring some tools with me because I was just planning on doing it there, you know. I sit in line, and I'm looking online. The batteries are like $100, $120. So I go in there, and I was like, hey, I just need a battery for Ford Mustang 2006. And the guy's like, okay, what year? 2006. Okay, what car? Ford Mustang. Okay, what engine? I don't know. Okay, 2-door, 4-door? 2-door. Okay, wheel size? I don't know. Okay, what kind of blinker fluid do you use? I don't know. Just asking me all these questions, right?
Because they're typing it in to get the search.
I know, but there's like one of like 2 Mustangs to choose from. It's like it's like the GT or like not. You know? It's like either like a race car or a fucking like...
The people that work
base
at
model.
AutoZone don't know fucking cars.
Dipshit. Anyway, we're sitting there and I'm like... He finally finds the battery. He's like, I have one in stock if you want it. And I was like, I'll take it. He goes over, gets the battery, sets it on the counter. He's like, that will be $190. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, it said 1 to 120 online on your website. And he's like, well, yeah, it's a high demand battery and this and that, and it's the last one in stock. And I was like,
so you marked up the price?
yeah, basically. And I was like, okay. And he goes, you want to buy it? And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And he goes, and he stares at me and he goes, $190. And I'm like, yep. And he goes, do you want it? And I was like, yes. And then he stares at me again and he goes, is that a yes? And I'm like, yes, dude. I want the fucking battery. Like, I'm not gonna... What? Like, and that's kind of when I learned something about myself. Like, even when I'm mad, I'm still a pretty cool guy. Like...
Depends.
Because I didn't... I mean, I don't think I've ever been, like, mad. But... It's like, you're just asking me a bunch of questions, and it's like, dude... Come on, man. And this guy was, like, 17, probably. So, like, I felt kind of bad, but he was, like... just asking like the same question 5 times, like looking at me like a fucking tree.
When you've already said yes.
When I've said yes 5 times. So I was just like, yes, dude. Like, plus like my car alarm was just going off randomly and I had no idea. So it's like, got other things on my mind. And so I buy the battery and I go to my car and I have like a multi-tool and I start undoing the battery. And there's a thing called the battery hold down, and it's really hard to get to, and you need a specific socket. And I didn't have that socket, so I go back into the store, and I'm like, "Hey, do you guys still loan tools so I can just switch it out in the parking lot?" And I'm assuming it was the manager. Was like, "Yeah, no problem. Just 1 second." He gets me the tools, and I come in like 2 or 3 times, exchanging them because he keeps giving me the wrong size, and then he eventually just lends me the toolbox, and I go through everything, and I still don't have the tools, right? And I go in and I wait in line for a little bit, and I was trying to be like, these don't fit, whatever. And there's this guy next to me, and he just goes, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he's a little Mexican fellow, and he's just like, "Cars, huh? There's always something." And I'm like, yeah, it's just always something. And he's like, it's kind of like a woman, because you love it, but it's expensive.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, you're so right. And we start talking just about, like, Corona and everything. And he's like, yeah, it's crazy, this and that. And he's like, just remember, man, you got to have some patience. And I was like, yeah, thanks, man. Like, you're right. Like, it's not too serious. It's just a battery. And he ends up getting helped, and then I'm after him. I exchanged the tools for another little toolbox, and I go back out to the front, and I'm digging around my fucking engine, and I can't find the lug nut. And this guy comes back out of his car, and he's like, "You need some help, man?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it doesn't look like they don't have the right size for the screw, because it was like a really specific. It's bullshit. If you have a Mustang, you know what I'm talking about. But when I installed my radio, it's like a 7/8 inch socket, and then as soon as you have that, it's like a different size on the inside." And I don't know if it's like anti-theft or whatever the purpose is, but whatever the reason is, if you go like on the surface layer, it's one size. If you go a layer deeper, the lug nut size or whatever size gets changed. It's a pain in the ass. So I'm at the other size and I don't have the lug nut, and I can't get the battery out. And this guy helps me, and in the middle of it, he like kind of looks up and he's like, he's finally got it coming out, and he's like, "I'm Arturo, by the way." And I was like, "Arturo, I'm Alec." And he goes, "Nice to meet you." And I shook his hand, and I'm like, "Are you the guy who sold me the Mustang?" The motherfucker who sold me the car was at the AutoZone
Nice.
at the same time I was. when I was replacing the battery, had all the tools needed to replace the battery, and then helps me because he realizes I don't have the tools or the know-how clearly. And it wasn't until he said his name, I was like, holy shit. That's the dude who sold me the car. And he's like, do you live out here in Moore Park? And I was like, yeah. And I don't know if he recognized me, so I was like trying to hint at it. I was like, yeah, I just moved out here, and I got this car about a year ago. And I definitely recognized him because he was talking about like his son a lot. And when I bought the car, he's like, yeah, it's all this money for my son, for my son, for my son. I met his son, bro. And his son like had autism. So I met his son, and he was super cool. And then Arturo, God bless you, man. Thank you so much for just being a kind stranger and helping me in a time of need. Not only when I needed a car, but when I needed to replace the battery on that car. Super fucking awesome. Just to have good people in the world. And it just blew my mind, man, because like, nice. Everything worked just so perfectly in the sense of like, my alarm's going off and I go to the AutoZone the next day at the exact right time that he's there to help me. And it blew my mind. And yeah, man. So that's the story I really wanted to share because I think it's super cool how that came together.
Small world. I have a story about AutoZone as well.
Let me hear it.
It's a fuck AutoZone.
All right.
AutoZone sucks. So here's why.
Pep Boys gang, swish.
Not even Pep Boys. I've never been to Pep Boys,
I'm
but
just talking shit.
So when I lived in North Hollywood, I needed a new battery for my car because it wasn't working. Like I could drive it, and then if I'd park and not drive within like 10 minutes, it wouldn't turn on. So like it would work, but it wouldn't hold a charge.
Mm.
And so came out here and was like, Dad, I need a new battery. Let's go. We went to AutoZone, found a battery that would work. We're like, okay, cool. How much is it? 140 or like something. 150, 140. Cool. I went to Nappa right down the street, right next to it. They're like $90. We're like, cool, I'll take it.
Yeah.
If you've ever been inside of a Nappa Auto Parts, dirty, dingy.
That's how you know the real mechanics.
It's dark as fuck. Mm-hmm. Everything, it's just like a mess. It's just crap. It's like you're walking into someone's garage, but it's a storefront. And it's like there's just shit everywhere. There's
just grease.
No organization. There's this fat dude with a trucker hat like behind the counter. It's like,
what can I do you for?
Burp, here's a battery. It's like, okay, cool, thanks. Save this piece of paper. It's the core deposit. It's like, okay, thank you, sir. Get home, install the battery. Dad was like, don't touch this, you'll die. I'm like, okay, thanks. Scar me for life.
The positive side?
Yeah, he's like, don't touch this ever.
I was told the same thing, and the entire time I was installing the battery, I was fucking with it. And everyone was, and I was like, aren't you supposed to not touch that? And they're like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, it sparks a little bit, but it's not like a deadly volt.
Yeah. Isn't there like a video of Oscar trying to jump a car?
Sure is, yeah.
And he like collapses.
Yeah, he shocks himself.
Yeah, that's a good video.
Yeah.
It's like on Snapchat or something.
Instagram. Yeah, but that's
So fuck AutoZone.
That's
kind of
true.
Too expensive.
Napa is way cheaper, huh?
Yeah.
It's right next door to the AutoZone too.
AutoZone's fucking expensive, but it's like you're also, I guess, paying for a nice experience. When you go to Napa, you just get exactly what you fucking need
at the discounted price.
At a discounted price because there's probably
but
raccoons.
No service. Yeah.
There's probably raccoons somewhere in there
playing poker in the back.
Yeah, like you kick an oil can over and mice run out. It's like, oh shit, sweet. I want him to fix my car.
Yeah,
Stuart.
That's what I'm saying. Stuart Little. That's how you know it's a real mechanic, though, man. I gotta say, like those redneck kind of people, like those are the guys who could smack an engine with a wrench and be like, I fixed it.
Yeah, just dink.
Like they really know what they're doing. But yeah, that's a pretty cool story. It's always batteries or something.
Well, that's the first thing to go, really, because I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, all of a car is always working when a car is on, but it's like it's.
Well, the battery's actually not. They only need the battery to start the car, and then the alternator runs all the power.
It's always going.
But yeah.
It's also the thing, like you leave a light on for 30 minutes and the battery's fucked.
Yeah, they're surprisingly not like powerful.
Yeah, for being huge.
It's amazing.
Huge car battery.
It's amazing how weak those things are for their price and size.
There was this man on YouTube a while ago. I don't know if you've ever seen his videos. It's this older gentleman. He made like kind of like hack videos, or like how not like how to's, but he made like
life hacks and stuff.
Yeah, life hacks. It was this guy. He made just like with like household shit, but not household hacker.
I mean, there's a lot of channels like that, but I get the idea.
But like he opened up like batteries, and he opened up like car batteries. Like, this is a car battery hack. If you ever need double A's, get a car battery.
Oh yeah, it's just all AA batteries in there, right?
It's not, but he opened it up, and it's just filled like with 100 AA batteries.
I thought that was a real thing, bro. I was prepared to be like,
yeah. It's like, okay, you could buy a car battery for $100, and you can get 15 AA batteries for $20, and it's like, okay, well,
do the math,
save money.
Yeah,
and they all just have their labels taken off.
I remember. You showed me that video. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's a really fucking
hilarious.
old video. I don't remember this dude's channel name. Like, he had this really nice voice. It was just this older guy making videos. He had a cat. I think his cat's name was Tux.
Of course it was.
But it's a throwback for sure. One of those older channels.
Nice.
It's our turn.
The only other thing I really have to say is, I guess I wanted to talk about kind of like meditation a little bit, because I've been doing that. But
let's do it.
What I wanted to transition to the meditation topic from was last night I stayed up again till like 2:30 in the morning.
And you were up at 10?
Yeah.
Solid 8 hours.
Well, I think it's like I said, the meditations really helped me like fall asleep and get a good night's sleep. So I wake up kind of earlier and refreshed. But basically what happened was it was like 11 o'clock, 10:30 maybe. And I was bored. I was like out of TV shows to watch. I feel like I'd watched enough TV for the day. I played enough video games for the day. And I was like, fuck it. The only thing I have left to do is make some music. So I made some music. And I watched a YouTube video, and as I watched the YouTube video, I got this melody stuck in my head. And then I was like, fuck, I need to get that melody down. So I took out the piano you gave me, and then I got the melody down, and then I put it back into the software. And I just kept going and going and going and going till it was 2:30. And then I realized I was like, I need to put this to something. So I went and I got one of the voicemails from the ideas from the album. And last night I finished the 30th instrumental for the album.
Start recording vocals, boy.
Well, I have to start writing, but I've officially finished the musical stage.
Don't even write. Just
fucking
let your microphone go and just
just vibe.
Just like this.
Well, I'm gonna. One thing I've been concerned about is like I don't want every song to just be about like my mom.
Fuck you, mom.
Yeah, it's kind of childish.
I wanted
so,
McDonald's, and you said no. We got food at home.
Basically,
and we didn't.
Yeah, but basically, it's like it's gonna be an album where those voicemails all tie together. The two songs tied together by a theme. So I've got to work that part out. But I do plan to have a few songs on there that are just like how the way Jay-Z does it, which just play the beat and go. So I'm excited for...
Isn't that all music?
I mean, isn't that how death metal works?
Well, isn't everything just play a beat and go?
Not really.
How not?
Well, I mean, it's not all like improvised lyrics. Is that what you're saying?
Is that what Jay-Z does? Is just improvised?
Yeah, Jay-Z...
I don't fucking know Jay-Z.
Jay-Z doesn't write down lyrics. He gets in the booth and starts spitting.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, it's super cool. But I definitely plan to do a few of those, maybe one or two. But yeah, the album is really in good progress, and I'm excited. And then in order to get to sleep, I've been having trouble sleeping. I'll meditate now. So it's like I started off with like 10 minutes, and now I'm doing like 15 minutes or like 20 minutes a night. So I don't know. I just wanted to say it helps me, and it could probably help other people. I know it sounds super fucking weird, but with anxiety, I just feel like a lot more calm, and it's super dope. And like, as weird as it sounds, like we should try it together if you wanted to, because I feel like
Let's listen to some
I
ASMR.
feel like we can't play poker, and we
can play poker. I just
and
won't take it serious.
and we'll never play Mario Party ever again.
Yeah, because I'll just fuck you in the butt again. That was so.
That was the
good.
worst.
That was amazing.
What provoked that?
Everyone
I gotta
made the
know,
right
dude.
Choice.
Why?
Because
Was it something
you
I
think you're
said?
the best.
I was the best, and I would have
Nope.
won.
No, and that's why.
Yes, pieces of shit.
But yeah, meditation's cool. I mean, I don't meditate. I listen to ASMR, so I mean, it's basically the same thing.
I mean, the real key factor for the meditation is
It's
just like
relaxing.
deep breaths. At least for me. I mean, because that's what kind of helps me relax and lets my body unwind. Plus,
Do you think at all when you meditate?
I do actually.
Or
I've
just
kind
like,
of
just clear.
Well, I've kind of grown to accept that it's just gonna be kind of a shit show sometimes. Last night was like a super calm, no real thought or interruption. Like for my brain, my mind was really mellow. But like 2 nights ago, I was sitting down and like I just kept like getting bothered by like noises, or I was just like irritable. And then like I actually stopped the meditation early, and I don't usually do that. And then like last night, it was so clear. I did like 15 minutes, and then I did another 20.
Do you do guided meditation, or you just sit down?
Yeah,
in
so
silence?
well, I could do either, but I've been doing guided meditation recently, and some of them are like really good, and some of them are really bad. Which is why last night I was doing a guided one. I cut it early. Last night I did one, and it was a guided one, and it was really good. It was one of the ones I like going to. And then afterwards, I was like, I wanted to keep going, so I just looked up ambient music or ambient sounds, and then played that on my phone, and then I went another 15 or 20 minutes, and it was fucking perfect. But yeah, the only thing is, it's like, I'm sure ASMR would be cool, but to me it's too distracting, because it's like anything that has like a rhythmic or like a really harsh, like if it has like a quick attack and a quick decay, it's just like it's almost rhythmic. Or
I mean, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of ASMR.
I know, but I just want like ambient sounds and like music.
I can show you some.
I mean,
I know all of it. I've seen it all.
if you want, but it's like I'm already doing it. It sounds like then, because it's just like
Nah, I can show you shit.
Naturescapes
I can
or-
show you shit that's better.
I don't know, man. But I mean, I'll give it a try if you really want me to. But the thing is, it's just like you just gotta work on your breath, and like that's really all it is. I mean, well, yeah, but it's like take a deep breath in, hold it, take a slow exhale out, and I don't know. That's really what works for me. It's weird how it causes you to feel high. It causes that sense of euphoria.
Can't relate.
You never been high?
Nope.
Never.
Squeaky
Squeaky
fishing
clean,
boy.
straight edge boy.
That's why we're drinking fake beer.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just meditation's good. I want to play poker, and fuck you, Raul, for being.
This tastes just like Heineken.
Tastes a lot like it. For stealing my star in Mario Party, and Ryan.
And me.
You guys can all get the dick later.
And then I fucked everyone up in Call of Duty, because still got it. Retired, but still got it, and I relapsed. It's downloading right now.
But who fucked you up in Madden?
I've played a total of about 6 Madden games. That's not on a phone.
I've played a total of 2 Madden games. No,
okay.
4 Madden games
Nope.
on different consoles. Yeah, 10 on Xbox and PlayStation.
My Xbox.
13. No, listen. 10 on Xbox and PlayStation. Madden 10. 13 on your Xbox, and now the one Ryan did on that. I guess only 3.
But how many fucking, not titles, games in general? How many individual games have you played?
A whole lot.
I've played a total of like 6. I don't know what I'm doing. I've played it on a phone. That's way different. It's completely different buttons and controls.
I'm just saying, bro. Josh started it, and he was talking some shit, and I kicked his ass.
I never said I would beat you in the first place.
Yeah,
I
you did.
said your whole argument was that Madden, whatever the one just came out, 21, I think it
21?
is. Madden 21 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It, to quote him, it handles way better on the PS4.
It's way faster on the PS4. On PlayStation in general.
And saying to me on the Xbox One, which has faster computing power than the PlayStation 4.
Which has nothing to do with how the game is processed.
You fucking retarded?
It's the engine that writes the game. You can't just go. You can't run 100 miles an hour because your computing speed is faster. You still have limits built into the game. And PlayStation often has
it's all the same shit.
Then
man.
make your running back never get tackled.
It's the same fucking game on this, basically the same hardware. One doesn't handle faster than the other. It's the same game.
No, they're differently programmed.
No, they're the same game.
No, they're not.
They are.
Then why is it better on PlayStation?
That's your opinion.
That's like your opinion, man.
Yeah, it's like your opinion,
it's
man.
It's faster. I'm telling you, though. But how are you... Look how defensive you get, but you
because
haven't played either.
Dumb. I played it on the PlayStation on Saturday.
When you play that on Xbox.
I like how that's your comeback.
That's what you sound like.
At least I'm making valid arguments.
No, you're not. You haven't played either.
It's better on PlayStation.
Because I've played on both. And you're saying...
I've played it on both, too, and it handled the exact same.
No, you're just being an Xbox fanboy.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
I don't like
are.
Xbox for certain things. I don't like PlayStation for certain things.
But you like it better for
The only thing
Madden?
I don't like PlayStation for is the controller. It felt the exact same, though, on Xbox and PlayStation. How is that me defending Xbox?
Because I'm saying... Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the situation. I'm telling you my opinion.
Yes.
And you get mad and saying you're wrong because Xbox...
I'm not saying you're
performs
wrong.
Better and
your
faster.
Perception of it is probably skewed because you've always preferred PlayStation. Yes? You've grown up with it. You've barely had Xbox. You prefer PlayStation, so you think it's faster. When factually speaking...
It feels different.
Factually speaking, it's the same game. It's running the same.
It's not, though.
But it is.
It's not.
Sure, man.
I don't know. I mean, does every car drive the same because it has the same components? No.
If you take two cars that are built the same, yes, they'll run the same, but you could say this one feels better because it has a different steering wheel.
That's what I'm saying. PlayStation feels better.
It's the same car.
It seems faster.
It's the same fucking box.
It's not.
It is. They're basically the same.
No.
Just slap a X on one and a
I could do
logo on
I
the
could
other.
do a blind test. If you gave me a controller that was nondescript, that played on both consoles, and you said which one's Xbox and which one's PlayStation, I would tell you.
Don't think you'd be
I
able
would
to
tell
tell.
you indefinitely, for sure, which one is PlayStation and which one is Xbox. That's how confident I am that they are different.
I don't think you'd be able to.
I would.
I don't think so.
I know I could. And I bet you it plays different on PC too.
It's not on PC.
I'm just saying, look, man, I'm not saying Xbox is bad. I'm just saying.
You are. You're saying Xbox is bad for Madden.
It is.
So you're saying Xbox is bad.
No, I'm saying Xbox is bad for Madden.
Exactly. You're saying it's bad.
Is Hitler bad?
I'm not saying you think it's bad overall.
Because Hitler's bad, but he was good for Germany. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. I'm not saying you say it's bad. I'm saying you say it's bad for Madden.
It is.
But I can also just say you say it's bad and mean the same thing.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
It's a broader stroke.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It still falls under that umbrella.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. Because if you say, okay, does this microphone sound the same as yours?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
You want to know why?
Look at all the components. They are all the same. The only thing that makes it different is our voices.
Also, the high pass, low pass filter you have initiated, and I don't. They sound different.
They sound the fucking same.
They are the same mic. But
you listen to recordings, we sound the same.
No, we don't.
And we do.
No, we don't.
Good for you, man. Do you want a fucking another beer? Have a cookie?
Look how mad he is.
Because you're being dumb, my guy.
Damn.
And I'll kick your ass in Call of Duty again.
Fight me in real life. Get it out of your system.
No.
Go jerk off angrily in the bathroom
You
and
didn't
come
even
back.
say goodbye. I already kicked,
Because
kicked your ass in Mario Party.
Did that really piss you off?
No, I was just like, okay, well, he's obviously upset, so I'm not going to bug him.
Oh my god. Yeah, man, you ruined Mario Party for me.
Everyone else did, but you chose to
You were the
take it out on
mastermind.
me.
You were the mastermind behind the whole plan.
Because I said I was going to make the right choice on who
Yeah.
to steal from.
Exactly.
Imagine getting mad at a party game.
Imagine getting mad over Xbox versus PlayStation.
That's a way more than a party game. That is a lifestyle.
You're so gay.
Nope.
So lame.
You.
No. You. No, you. All right. Well, we definitely tripped a nerve for the good boy Josh here.
You can't say that to a gamer and have expect a civil conversation.
You should.
No. Because they
I know-
already have
I know-
biases.
I know the
This beer
gaming.
tastes like shit, my guy.
I know the gaming. I know the gaming community is super toxic
It's very
and
polarized.
spouts hatred. But you got to understand, man. If you wanted to have a conversation, it's not even a matter of the conversation. I'm really putting into the idea, like, if it was on a different console, I could still tell the difference in how it plays, and we won't know that truthfully until you and I both play Madden 21
on my Xbox.
on the Xbox.
I'm not going to buy it. 'Cause it's not
Neither am
my
I. It's
Xbox.
like $70.
Well, it's $59.99.
Really?
All new games are $59.99 on this generation. They're going to go up next gen.
I'll bet. But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, because I've played Madden 10 on PlayStation and on Xbox, and they were very different.
It was also 10 years ago
I'm just saying,
on different consoles.
there's always been a noticeable difference.
PS3 or was that PS2?
It was PS3. It was PS3 and Xbox 360.
When the PS3 was better than the Xbox at that time.
Yes.
And now they are the same.
I don't know the components and shit, but
They're the same.
as the consumer of the product, they were not the same game.
Back in the day, yes, sure. The PlayStation 3, hands down, way better console than the Xbox 360. It's on paper. Yeah, that's a fact.
I like it when you speak with passion.
That is an undisputed fact. Like, that PlayStation 3 was a lot stronger and could put out a lot better product than the Xbox 360.
But now they're
They are
tied.
the same. They're literally the same. It's in a different box.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. You're stuck in this
You get so mad when
because
you say
you're
it.
so ignorant.
What? How is that ignorant?
You're saying it's better, and I'm like, no, they're the same because they're both the same.
It's an opinion. You've
and your
illustrated
opinion's
that.
fucking wrong.
So toxic.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna need another beer for
We need to
this.
play Smite again.
I'm in album mode, bro. I told you you'd lose me.
Oh my gosh. So I'm downloading Call of Duty again so I can play with myself.
You don't need Call of Duty to play with yourself, homie. Zing.
Yeah, but then I feel gross.
Rejected.
Yeah, that came back farther to us.
I don't know, man. We'll play Smite again soon. The
Do you
issue
even like
is,
jerking off anymore?
Hmm?
Do you like jerking off anymore?
You've asked this already.
I don't remember.
Yes, I still enjoy jerking off. For you, it's a chore. It's not even fun.
I think we talked about it on this.
We for sure have.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember these conversations.
I'm gonna refer
we
to my
had.
notes and pull the ripcord on one of these transitions real quick.
Go ahead, because I don't have any notes. I've stopped taking notes, really.
Okay. This is not gonna be a good transition or a topic
Beyblade, let it rip.
or a topic that shies away from
Doesn't matter.
Josh getting angry again.
Fuck you, my guy. My dude. Drinking shit Italian beer.
You chose.
I know, and I regret it. Don't drink Peroni, kids.
Josh is so steamed from the Xbox and
Josh this
PlayStation
episode's
debate.
gonna be Josh is mad again.
It should be. Josh is an angry boy.
I'm chilling. So what's up?
So
What do you got?
what I have written down is it's just in quotes the moral high ground, and I've you don't even know,
No, it's so hard to take sometimes.
but here's what I'm saying. I've encountered more and more people. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm already on here, but I'm gonna write down a note real quick because I did want to talk about that too.
Go for it.
So
Go for it. Gopher space IT. Like the animal gopher. Go for it.
Go for it. Okay.
Dig a hole.
What was I saying?
Moral high ground.
Moral high ground. So
You've seen more and more people.
I've been encountering more and more people who, when you talk to them, they don't have a stance on anything. So let's just say, for instance, you and me were having that debate about PlayStation and Xbox, and someone was right here.
I don't play video games.
Even worse.
What's a video game?
Even worse.
What is game?
What is letting the other person talk?
You weren't talking. You said even worse and let us space.
Fair enough.
Even worse.
Basically, if we were sitting here and I was like, PlayStation's better.
Xbox is better.
And you say Xbox is better.
I already did, yes.
And I said, PlayStation's better because, in my opinion, it feels faster and more responsive than when I play Xbox.
You could have just said XYZ.
But that's my real opinion.
Sure. The PS3.
Then what?
The PS3.
Okay. And then Josh goes, you're wrong because the hardware puts them on par, so they're the same thing. And someone on the side would look at you and be like, Josh, you're right. And I'd be like,
thanks, my dude.
And I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? And they'd be like, Alec, you're also right.
Fuck you, my guy.
I see both sides.
Fuck you.
And it's one of those things where it's like, you don't really solve the issue. You're just like, you're in like this fake territory of like, I hear you out, I'm listening, I'm
Can
here.
you turn off the box?
Yeah. It's like you're in this fake territory of, I hear you, I'm listening to you, you're understood, your thoughts matter. And then they put their hand on your shoulder and they go, I'm listening to you, I hear your thoughts matter, you're understood.
And I'm like, don't fucking touch me.
And you're like, what the fuck, dude? You just chose his side. And he's like, no, I'm on your side. And then I go, what the fuck, dude? I thought you were on my side. He's like, I am on your side. And it's this weird thing of like, you don't have an opinion, but it's more like everyone's right. And I'm not. I just want to give it like a more extreme example because it's like kind of hard to do it like when we kick it with Darian.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys argued over like shapes and...
Miss you.
I miss you too. Remember when you guys argued over squares and triangles? Or rectangles?
Octopi and fish.
Yeah. So exactly that. Imagine being like... There is an absolute definition that is...
Of a fish.
Of a fish, right? I don't know that definition. I don't want to look it up right now because I don't know how rocky it'll make this...
Everything that lives in the ocean.
I don't know how rocky it'll make this topic.
Except for an octopus.
But basically, you'd say that, and I'd be like, that's a good point. I could see that. And then Darren would be like, no, an octopus is an octopus. A shark is a shark. It's not a fish. It's a mammal, or whatever the breakdown is. And then they'd be like, well, she's right too. That's what's in textbooks. And you're like, but this is what the definition says. And then it's like, well, I can see that you're both right. And then like, there's just no like... It's almost like what's the thing? What's the word they're using right now? It's like morality flashing or something like that.
What?
Like when someone posts something like Black Lives Matter for clout. There's like a term for it.
No idea. I haven't seen that term.
Really? I forgot what it was, but it's like when you're doing something for clout and not for like the right reason. Because I would argue the right reason is to come to the conclusion of that discussion, to find out like there has to be someone who's right, there has to be someone who is wrong, and they're just like, you're both right, this and this, and but it's like when people be like, oh, both sides are valid. It's like, of course both sides are valid, but like what's the outcome?
Mm-hmm.
But instead you just have a lot of people being like, oh, both sides are valid. I don't know. And it's like, you should really have that discussion. You should really find those lines as opposed to just acknowledging that someone has lines scribbled all over somewhere and being like, I don't want to organize it. It seems like something that is worth organizing. In my head, anyway. I know a lot of people don't give a shit, but small shit like that bugs me.
So what does that have to do with morality, though?
I just put it as like the moral high ground in quotes because it's like
Okay.
it's like a way virtue signaling. That's what they're calling it. Is like if you post
That's a terrible name for it.
if you post like a Black Lives Matter meme for clout, it's virtue signaling. So it's like virtue signaling because
What
it's
is
like
virtue?
yeah, that's a good question. Are we asking the right question?
No.
So basically it's like it's like basically getting people to like you instead of being like I have this opinion on this thing.
Switzerland.
Basically, but I think it's even worse because
Fuck the Swiss.
But Switzerland was just like, look, we can't handle the war. Sorry. Like it's one thing to be like I can't get involved in this war. It's another thing to be like I don't know if Hitler's wrong. I don't know if the United States is right. So I'm gonna abstain. It's another thing to be like, look, we're not strong enough. We agree with you idealistically, but we just can't. We can't. You know? So it's like, it's one of those weird things of like, there's people who get into like arguments or debates, and there's people who are just like, both points are valid, and they want it to die there. And I'm like, no, it's not the end. Like, there has to be a way to test it, right? Like, if we both played both games on both consoles, eventually we'd be like, okay, well, like, it has gotten better. Like, maybe they are on par now. I just haven't played Madden 21 on Xbox. But from my experience,
Best way to test is play 100 games on each console.
sure. But from
Takes time.
from my experience, PS3 was a lot better experience than Xbox, which you said would make sense.
Yeah, I would say the only difference that the PlayStation has between the Xbox is the control sticks are way looser on the PlayStation. Like if I were to hand you
On
that,
the 4?
if I were to hand you if I were to hand you the Xbox One controller, the control sticks are a lot tighter.
I agree with that.
And that's why I don't like PlayStation. I mean, I just also don't like the shape.
But you also know that I like Xbox 360 more than I liked the PlayStation. I like Xbox One more than I like PS4.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just a matter of like, I think the controller is great. I don't like the PS4 controller. It's a huge mistake in my opinion. But it's like, it's one of those things like, there was a big group of people who got together and decided that this is what they should do, you know? So, damn.
Shit.
So it's just one of those things of like, I don't know. It's something that's been on my mind because I just feel like I'm encountering more and more people who are like, I don't know. I see his side, I see your side, and they're not taking a side.
Because people don't want to make waves.
I get that, but like at the end of the day, it's like you gotta choose something, right? Because like.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm meeting a lot of people who are like not two-faced but no-faced. You know what I'm saying? They're like
Boring.
they're just scared. Like
Boring.
And like, bro, you're my best friend, right?
Aw.
Like, I mean, obviously,
No homo.
so is Ryan and a bunch of other people.
Wow.
But we can argue about PlayStation and like Mario Party and Call of Duty and like be totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
because there's no hostility behind it.
there's a little bit. But like at the end of the day, it's like I still like you for who you are as a person, and like your opinion on Xbox versus PlayStation isn't gonna deter me from being your friend.
Even if you think the wrong things.
Even if I am wrong, or even if you're wrong, because you are. But the important
Debatable.
thing is
100 games each console.
let's go.
It's the only way to test it.
Let's
Spend
go.
$500 right now.
No, but
Yes.
but
Credit.
my point being is like those people who wouldn't argue about like PlayStation or Xbox with me is like, it's like that's kind of like a thing I need. I need to know that you like something enough to argue for it. You know, I need to know that you give a shit enough, just enough to be like, fuck you, you're wrong. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things, and I feel like there's just so many more people out there who are like, as soon as you bring up something like, oh, I like PlayStation, or I like, and like me and Ryan will both agree, like PC is way better for gaming than either console.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like I've played it on both and I've experienced it on that, and it just makes more sense. But it's still just one of those things. Like if you told me PC gaming was the best and I was like, PlayStation's gaming is the best, and Ryan was like, I don't want to hang out with them because that's all they ever fight about. It's like, well, that's kind of like, if Josh and I are still hanging out, but we argue about PlayStation computers, it's like that's not that big of a deal, right? You're just avoiding something because, granted, it might be annoying, but like at least be like, hey, you're annoying, shut up, which Ryan would say. It's like it's just weird. Everyone's like, maybe I'm the asshole. Everyone's just avoiding me.
You've always been.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
What do you think about being the bigger person?
Despite being called and being known for being the asshole, I think I am the bigger person the majority of the time.
I think it's so fucking hard sometimes.
It's so hard. And here's the thing. It's like being a superhero because there is no thanks.
It's so easy to just be like, no, fuck you. Mm-hmm. But then things don't get resolved or just whatever, and the problem still consists. And then you're just like, okay, sorry, I was wrong. And take the moral high ground of being the bigger person. And it's like there's a lot of times where I just want to be like, no, go fuck yourself. You piece of garbage. I am correct and you are wrong.
Is that because of the PlayStation comments I've made?
No, it's mainly just because of pride.
Yeah.
I'm very prideful. I get that from my mother.
Nice.
Thanks. I also got your spending habits. Sweet.
Nice.
But yeah, I think it has to do with pride for a lot of people as well. Where it's like, no one wants to be wrong in anything. And
we were just watching that undercover show, right? Where the guy was
Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. You hired this plumber and you're doing a wrong job.
Yeah, so basically, it was investigating stories of like handymen and plumbers who try to upsell you water heaters that you don't need them. Mm-hmm. And I told Josh, I was like, the second you say this is a setup and bring cameras out, like,
yeah, they would always be like
trying to humiliate someone. Basically, no one's gonna be like, "You're right, all right, you're right."
They just get super defensive.
They're gonna get defensive and be like, "Fuck you, bro. I'm the professional. I'm in charge.
You're just Chris Hansen,
bro. You hired me to come look at the water heater, and I'm telling you the water heater's broken. Buy a new one or don't."
They stick to their guns.
And like, how would you expect anything else? Like,
you wouldn't
at some point, because then you're just admitting 100%. Yeah, I tried to snake you out of a couple grand.
I mean, there was that one guy who was like, "I'm not a licensed plumber. I just tried to start this business to make money because I just lost my job."
But it also was like kind of weird when he was saying, "I'm just trying to make an honest living," and it's like
by being dishonest.
By being dishonest. So it's one of those things of like, I appreciate like the little bit of honesty, but at the same time, you are stealing.
Yeah. And then there was the one guy.
It is fraudulent.
Whose boss told him to break.
Who would have exploded him.
Break a pipe when
a gas line.
When the owner wasn't there to be like, hey, there's a broken pipe. You need to fix this. And the guy performing the service was
surgery.
The guy performing the service was like, he told the owners like, hey, they're telling me to break this pipe. Like,
I don't think it's right.
They're trying to scam you. This isn't right. And they were like, no shit. That's a gas line. They're like, oh, cool.
Yeah. And apparently the stone, I forgot, it was like
River Rock.
River Rock. If there was a gas leak around the River Rock, it would have caused an explosion for sure, they said, because
striking it and creating sparks.
Yeah, it immediately sparks upon being stricken. So it's one of those things like that's what just being a good person pays off. But it's one of the, what I'm saying is like, no one's gonna just kind of fold under that pressure.
Yeah, no one likes to be wrong.
Yeah. You're right. It is definitely pride, but it's like, as soon as you start, like, could you imagine though, if I was like talking to you about PlayStation and Xbox, and then the Xbox fucking
walked through the door,
company
like
came in with fucking video cameras at my face, and they're like, here's a list of the Xbox stats. We are better than PlayStation in the hardware department. What do you think of that? And it's like, you're kind of just being a dick. I'm saying it literally just feels faster.
So when Chris Hansen walks in on all those pedophiles,
yeah, and he's like,
Chris Hansen's the asshole.
I forgot where we were going with this. That got so derailed, though. I'm not saying
you said that. Let's say you're saying Xbox is or PlayStation is better than Xbox, and the Xbox people come in and say, "Here's all the facts of Xbox being better than PlayStation." You're still saying that PlayStation's better.
It's my opinion in the first place.
If Chris
you can't
Hansen
disprove that.
walks in and is saying, "Hey, you're a pedophile," and the pedophile's like, "You're the asshole, Chris."
No, because that's against the law, and I'm stating my opinion that it feels faster and more responsive.
Okay.
Those are apples and oranges.
Both tasty fruits.
But I forgot where I was going with all that. We got so. Is this the moral high ground again?
Pride.
Still being the bigger person
Sucks. Pride sucks. Definitely also doesn't help with egos. Egos are the worst. Hurts me at work
Why?
because I think I'm better than everyone else, and I am. But it's besides the point. I was talking to one of my coworkers the other day.
Aisle B, okay? That's aisle F, okay? That's aisle Q. We don't even have an aisle Q. How'd you get the fuck over
We
there?
actually do.
I'm just saying.
It's clothing.
Q for clothing.
Yes. I was talking to one of my coworkers the other day about I forgot like what specifically, but we were talking about like how like people don't really get fired. And he was like, people get fired, and we're like, no, they fucking don't. This person still works. And he was like, oh shit, you're right.
They cut you to 1 hour a week and then hope you fucking quit.
They don't even do that. Like, this dude literally, there's one guy who literally comes in high off his fucking ass every day and smokes on his brakes in his car and just is the literal worst. And he gets nothing done, and he still works there, and it's visible. And at Target, ding, ding, ding. I don't know if you fucking know this, but you're not allowed to be high at work. At Target specifically, it's in their written
You signed up for
documents. They say, hey, you can't do this. And everyone's like, check the box, dope.
Speaking of dope.
Yeah. And here's this kid walking around, high as a kite, all the time. Literally, he'll just, I've watched him. He just stands there and like, he'll just disassociate and just space out.
He's the guy who goes home from work and is like, oh, work was so hard today, and they'll start smoking more.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, dog, you didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. Well, like, I just fucking hate people. And it's not because I work harder, because I put in the same amount of work as other people do. It's just the quality of it is a little bit better.
A little bit.
Just trying harder. You know, I get to go to work tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Have a good day. It's going to be busy as fuck. I'm going to yell again in my car when I'm on my way home again.
Did you really yell?
Did you see that video I sent?
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah. Catch a song in the background?
Just because I didn't.
Okay, well, it was Silhouette, so it's a good song.
Nice.
Yeah, I like to fucking yell in my car and record it. It's a thing I do. If you're a friend with me on Snapchat in like 2015, I recorded the moon and yelled at it. That's my thing. I like to yell.
In the car.
In the car.
Where no one can hear me.
While I'm recording. The windows were down. But I made sure I wasn't at a light and I was driving. Mm-hmm. So no one could hear me.
Imagine someone just walking outside and you're... I was gonna say, that just sounds like a car noise that I made, not even like a yelling noise.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
That's funny as fuck. Well, I hope tomorrow's slow as fuck.
I do too.
And
I just want an easy day.
Yeah, man. It's not gonna be
just want a fucking easy day.
You know what you should do is just go in high off of your ass and then stand and disassociate.
I couldn't. There's so much in me preventing me from doing that. I just couldn't. Mm-hmm. I'm not that kind of person.
You can't not care.
Yeah. Like, I could never go to work like just drunk or high or any sort of under any influence. Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't do it.
I'm the same way.
Like, I feel like, I mean, even after shotgunning that one beer at Pizza that one time, it's like, ooh, I don't want to do this.
One thing that always plays in my head is like, I imagine if I got an album deal or something and there's like a meeting with like executives or corporate people, they'd be like, your meeting's at 3 and I'd still show up at like 2:30. And like, they're like, most artists don't show up until like 2 hours late. What's up? Like, are you really an artist? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I just
punctuality.
I just respect your time. It's like, because I know that's just like who I am as a person, to where it's like I'd still like I wouldn't just be late to like a board meeting, you know.
Yeah, you got to be early.
So
You got to be early to everything.
So that's the weird thing for me is because it plays in my head like, what if I went there, showed up early, and they're just like, you're not the type we're used to. And I was like, but I showed up early. And they're like, that doesn't mean shit. I was like, oh, man.
Canceled.
I think of that all the time.
Deal's over.
I'm like, what if that happened? Like, what if Katy Perry had like a deal? Because like they're always like Nicki Minaj notoriously shows up late for like those meetings, right? Granted, they probably have a bunch of other stuff going on. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, what if they showed up and they're like, why aren't you late? Like, could you imagine being so different from everyone for being not just on time, but early?
I'm sure they have reps that are there for them.
They're like, oh shit, Justin Bieber's here a half hour early.
And they just kind of
everyone's like on lunch, like wiping bagels off their suits. They're like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Ow.
I was gonna say, that sounded like I hurt. It's one of those weird things I think about because, like, it's another thing is like you never really think about how diverse America is until you really start to work like different jobs, right? And you can make money doing anything. Like these guided meditations I'm listening to. At the beginning of them, everyone's like, "If you like this meditation, we'd appreciate a $1 donation
on Patreon
or buying the MP3 album." Through the iTunes store or whatever it is. And it's like, that's great, but like,
no,
Jesus Christ, I can't just meditate without fucking, like the one thing I'm always trying to get away from, Josh, you know this more than anyone, is fucking advertisements. I hate advertisements.
Crispy chicken, put it in a taco, sell it for $1,
and here's the fun
it hot,
here's the fun fact. Not only did Josh Google like 3 or 4 advertisements to watch on YouTube with me earlier today, but Oscar sent me a meme that ended up being an advertisement, which pissed me off.
Nice. And I only showed you 2 ads.
Okay, I said like 3. That's
3
like 2
or 4.
Yeah, that's like 3 or 4.
2 in total.
I see your point. That's a valid point.
I see your point.
See how annoying that is? It's so pretentious.
You need to get 2 people that are like that and have them try to debate something.
You wouldn't. Here's how it would go. It'd be like, Black Lives Matter. I see your point. How do you feel about it? I'm a white supremacist. I see your point. And then they'd leave the room because they're like, I'm not talking to that fucking person. Because that's how it would go.
Right there.
Because, yeah, I mean, like those people with that mindset really think there's no.
What do you mean, people?
People of that mindset. I'm pretty sure I clarified that. Anyway,
what do you mean, you people?
What I'm saying is that they think that... Here's an important question, right? Can you change somebody's mind?
It's going to take some time.
But can you do it?
Sure.
So, if you could change someone's mind, shouldn't you sit there and, like, talk to them and be like, hey, this is why Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
So the white supremacists could go, oh, I never thought of that.
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I just feel like everyone I'm talking to right now is like, that's a valid point. See you later. And it's like,
don't like change.
It's like a really polite way of saying fuck you, and I'm catching on to it. It's like, no, asshole, sit here and yell with me.
People don't like being uncomfortable, and people don't like change because change is uncomfortable.
But that's the weird thing too, right? With everything in the news going on, like it seems like a lot of people still don't or do like change, or like
people
still
don't like change.
No,
never have, never will. That's why there's so much like, even after like a presidency is served, Donald Trump at the end of his first term, 4 years, and people are still talking about shit he did in his first term, or like they're still not happy about that he's still president. It's like, get over it.
Still the not my president crowd.
Yeah, it's like, he's been your president for 4 fucking years. Get over it.
I have always thought that was a stupid thing to say. Is like, not my president. It's like, well,
you don't got a choice.
And that's the thing. Like, imagine like having that mindset. Like, because to me that's ridiculous, right? To me, it's being like, oh, he's not my president. It's like, yes, he is.
He is for 4 years.
Like,
and the 4-year term is,
like him or not, he got voted in.
4-year term is coming to an end. Either vote him out or vote him again.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's stupid to sit there and tell me, like, he's not your president, and then someone else talking to that person being like, that's a valid point. If you don't want me to be your president, you could just fucking ignore him.
They tried to impeach him. Didn't work.
Yeah.
wasn't going to work in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been cool, depending on who you talk to. Yeah, sure. Then we get Pence, who is arguably probably worse.
Yeah. I mean, that's what surprised me the most, too. We got to talk about the election coming up, I guess. But isn't it amazing how we can have someone like Trump in office, and then they're like, if we impeach him, it's even worse. And I'm like, in my head, that's just as a ridiculous argument as not my president. I'm like, how? Why would you try to impeach? Then don't impeach him. Because then every president just has to be like, who's worse than me? That's my vice president, as a security policy of me not getting impeached.
Yeah,
It makes no sense. It's a ridiculous outlook to say that Pence or somebody, you voted for him.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, like, the chain of command, like, after they all die? Like, the president dies, the vice president becomes, then after...
Then it's the attorneys general or something.
The vice president. But, like, it goes down to, like, there's a list. There's, like, 23 people.
Yeah.
And there's, like, one dude who sits in a bunker while everyone's at, like, a certain meeting.
Is there really?
Yeah. Like, there's a designated person. There's, like, a show about it or, like, a movie or something.
Just
like,
in case they all get blown up in the same building?
Yeah. And then that one person,
oh, shit.
like, the 24th person on the list becomes the president. And there's, like, no one else.
Who's number 24 right now?
I think it's a different person, like, every time.
Just every week?
Yeah.
Just like,
it's like... They're the designated individual. It's something like that. Designated is in the title. I'll look it up after.
Sure.
But, like, it's an actual thing. Like, there's this chain of command. That'd be a great movie
about, like, people trying to kill him. Like,
yeah, but no one knows who it is. It's just this fucking random dude. It's like, hey,
well, it's got to be written down.
Hi, I'm Bill.
It's got to be public information, bro. I couldn't imagine if 23 leaders of the country died, and then they're just like, hey, Bill's the leader now. If you think this is going to go over well without having that be public information first, you're out of your fucking mind.
Well, yeah, it's like the deputy secretary of, like, agriculture. Who the fuck is that guy? No one
Deputy
knows.
Secretary of Agriculture.
Dope. The second in charge.
Twice removed, but his third son.
Yeah, it's just this random title. It's like, okay,
we're gonna end up with another, like, King Henry V situation where it's like, how old is he? 18? He's on the list. I don't know how he made the list.
You're number 24, kid.
You're number 24, so batter up, kid. Fucking no crying in baseball. Let's go.
But if that's how you were gonna, like, take out the United States, that's how you do it.
You wouldn't. I mean,
get rid of everyone
at once.
Yeah.
You think you could? You think they're not, like... do you think they don't have... Okay, so when there's those meetings going on, like the presidential inauguration, you don't think there's, like, anti-air missiles or surface-to-air missiles or, like...
They have fucking just SAM missiles.
They have to have them somewhere. Because what if...
I don't know the landscape of Washington, D.C. I don't know how many forests or, like, open plains there are to, like, just have anti-aircraft guns.
But they have to have them if
or missile silos or SAM missiles.
Let me just paint this picture for you. I've always been told if you fly over the White House, they shoot you down.
I don't think they would.
I think they would.
I think it depends on your elevation.
It's a no-fly zone.
So are schools, but planes still fly over those.
Yeah, but those are just kids.
There's still no fly zones.
It's not the top 23 most important people in the United States at any time. And Bill in a Bunker. Bill in a Bunker, that's the name of the TV show. Write it.
It's not.
Bill in a Bunker. We just created sitcom gold. Are you kidding me?
I think it's called Designated Survivor.
Bill in a Bunker is a way better sitcom name.
I'm going to look it up now.
Designated Survivor. Could you imagine? You're just at a bar flirting with some chicks. Hi, what do you do for a living? I'm a designated survivor. What's that mean? It means if everyone
literally fucking dies, I'm in charge.
If everyone in the White House gets hit by a bomb, my job is to not be there and stay alive.
Yeah, it's called Designated Survivor. There's 3 seasons.
Oh, so it is a TV show.
Yeah.
Bill in a Bunker would be a good spin-off of it for a sitcom, bro. I'm not even kidding. That has to happen.
It's the comedy.
That's the comedy version for sure. Bill in a Bunker. Designated Survivor is like an HBO or like Netflix original kind of title where it's super serious and dark. Bill in a Bunker is like fucking 2.5 Men tone.
It is on Netflix, but it's an ABC show.
It's so crazy too. Is like they're just still selling shows to like Netflix directly now instead of like networks, but it's like the network that used to have the show.
Well, it was on ABC. Now it's.
That's what I'm saying.
You can just watch it on Netflix or ABC.
They put Legend of Korra on Netflix.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, super sick.
A lot of people didn't like Korra.
I loved Korra.
I did too. I don't know why. People just. That goes back to like elitism.
Yeah, to the original,
It's
and
the
then
worst.
people.
Avatar wasn't that great. It had its problems.
Avatar was so amazing.
Slow storytelling too. There's a lot of filler for no fucking reason.
They did the whole thing in 3 seasons.
Yeah, but there was still a good amount of filler. There were so many episodes that didn't fucking matter.
I disagree, man. They all come together to the end in the final fight. All the characters they encounter, they help fight the Fire Nation at the end.
It's not important though.
But it's, I mean,
All you need.
then neither is Endgame where everyone comes.
Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph,
Appa.
fucking Momo doesn't matter.
You need
and
Appa.
Suki. That's it. That's all you need. Just those 5.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, girlfriend of the moon. He's got 2 girlfriends.
No, he dated a princess.
Yeah, who
That's
turned into the moon.
And then,
And then Suki.
the Kyoshi warrior.
Yeah. Suki.
Thought he had one more after that.
Nope.
Thought he had a ton of girlfriends.
Nope.
Either way, it's like, could you? It's a hilarious premise, though. It's like, I'm in town with the Avatar for like a week. Do you want to go out with me? It's like, I'm a princess. I'm a lowly traveler, but that's like, that's like being in a bar.
I am a snowman.
And picking up on a chick, and she's like, "Who are you?" And like, I'm one of Jesus' apostles. Jesus, like God? Yeah, I'm like one of his best friends. It's like you have to name drop to get anywhere in life. Who are you? The the Secretary of Interior Design? Who's that? It's like 12th on the list of if the president dies, I'm the president.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking people that just gotta be offed to be in charge.
I mean, that's a.
But there are the measures in place to like number 23. Like
They
it's
definitely
all planned.
They definitely thought about it, dude, man. They're like, yo, so when we nuked Japan, they lost 23 of their highest ranking officials in government. And they're like, well, why don't we just put a list together of 24 of our highest ranking and then put one in a bunker at all times? No sunlight.
Do you think it's like depending on how many bills get passed, like they get bumped up in the rankings?
I don't. I think
list.
I think it's one of those things
like agriculture beat Department of Transportation.
You met your quota this week. You're now in 11th place.
Like the top 5 never change, but like below that, it's like fighting for a rank.
I doubt it, to be honest. It'd be hilarious though, because then you just have a bunch of people going after each other for like.
The DOJ is now ranked number 6. They were number 9. Congratulations to the DOJ.
It's like a fucking radio hits list.
It's just drawing it like a draft.
It's awesome. That'd be hilarious, but I don't think it's the case.
Bill in a bunker.
Bill in a bunker. Let's write it.
Let's sell it to someone.
I'm sure we could, bro. All you need to do is a pilot. All everyone wants a pilot now, and then that's it. That'd be great.
Who would star in that?
It'd have to be some skinny, introverted dude.
Who's available? Michael Cera.
Yeah. Michael Cera in Bill in a Bunker. Dude, it'd have to be someone, you know what I'm saying? Like, it couldn't be like because it couldn't be someone muscular. It's someone who's locked away. He'd have to get out, and then, like, at the end of the season, he'd be elected president and be like, hi. And, like, that's, like, it. And, like, the second season is him being, like, president. And then the third season, he's, like, back in the hole.
Yeah, we elected a new guy. You're back down.
Yeah, it's like a temporary placeholder.
Can you apply to just be that position?
Here's another good question. If all those people top 23 on the list got murked at once, would they officially categorize like, well, Trump died, so we gave it to Pence, and then he's like the 48th president, and then it's like, after Pence died, we give it to him, 49th. You think they'd like list everyone off, and it's like they were all tied for the shortest campaign in history.
They just do the inauguration with their photos, and then just it's like on a little conveyor belt, and they're all spread out like 3 feet apart.
The Pope just like splashes some holy water on each picture. Like, that'd be fucking hilarious, dude. Oh my god. And it's like you go on Wikipedia, it's like time served 0.001 less than sign percent duration.
Just less than a second.
And it's like in the next column, it's like history. It's like the nuclear bomb goes off at this rate, therefore their time in office has been deduced to this percentage of time.
Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
That's hilarious.
This beer sucked.
It smells like a real fake beer. That's the annoying thing. It's like when you burped, I was like, that smells like O'Doul's. All I smell is O'Doul's.
It tastes like Heineken. I'm not a fan of Heineken.
I smell the Heineken too. It's not very strong either.
It's just like those European beers.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're
Rome,
good.
Italy. Oh, 5.1. I just found the alcohol volume.
Well, that's not bad.
Apparently, they're pretty strong.
Yeah, they just don't taste.
They just don't. I don't mind the taste. It's just like
It's just not the best.
it's not special.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna do it.
How much? That's at least an hour.
Yeah. So
Alright.
we've made our quota. The cable's fucking up right now, and I have it like wrapped around my ear.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. Buy the merch. Share the podcast with a friend. Someone you haven't shared it with before. I can't fucking do this. Share the podcast with a friend. Just let it be known. 2 Dudes Drinking Beer. Buy the merch. Code 2DDB at checkout for free shipping. It goes a long way. I'm Josh.
I'm Alec.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Xbox sucks.
Nope.